Hello everyone, it's Elena and today I'm reviewing my first semester of my master's program at the University of Tübingen. For those of you who don't know, I have an undergraduate degree in law from the University of Cambridge and I'm now doing an LLM, which is a master's program in law in Germany. And for those of you who might be thinking, well, why did you switch countries for doing your master's program? Because normally a law degree is very specific to the country in which you're studying it. That is true, but the LLM programs are very often designed for law students from other countries because a lot of people go abroad for their LLM to get to know a different legal system, and that's also the case for my LLM program here. Let's start out with the academics because that's the main reason for which I picked this specific program. And in your LLM, you will usually have a focus area, so you will no longer be doing a little bit of all the legal areas, but instead you will focus on one specific thing. My focus area is Unternehmens- und Wirtschaftsrecht with a specific focus in Wettbewerbsrecht und gewerblicher Rechtsschutz. And I was actually torn between this and another focus area in international law because I'm very interested in international law, but I looked at the courses that they offer here, and since I have taken international law courses both at Cambridge and Regensburg, I wasn't sure I was gonna get as much new information out of this as I would from taking this focus area, and that's why I didn't go for the international law one. And this one also has some international aspects, especially in the EU context, so it's not entirely just Germany focused, but obviously there is a lot of German law in it. The program is structured in such a way that you have to take some basic classes, so a general private law course, for example, for my focus area, but then you also take the advanced classes as well. Like for example, you would take a class in competition law. Now these classes are normally taken by the German law students in higher semesters, but you are learning the basics and you are simultaneously in the advanced classes. For me personally, this was fine, I think, especially because I did a year abroad in Regensburg, so I had some basic knowledge about German private law, which really helped me out in the beginning, because just being thrown in these advanced classes without having much knowledge about the basics can be quite difficult, I think. But like I said, for my situation personally, it wasn't that big of a problem. I do think you can also read up on the things you don't understand, but I think this is a bit of a struggle that can arise at the beginning when you are doing an LLM program in a new country. I do also have to say though that people were lying to me during my bachelor's degree, because people told me that once I would be in my master's program, I would be looking back at my time as an undergrad and I would think, oh my gosh, it was so easy back then, because it's only going to get harder from there. And honestly, that was a lie. I have much more of a work-life balance here than I used to have during my undergrad, because I remember while I was doing my normal law degree in England, I had very long reading lists and it felt like you could never finish them, and honestly looking back at them, I don't think you can, at least not if you read everything in as much detail as you should. So it was a continuously stressed environment, so you always were thinking about your work, and here you actually can finish your reading lists and you can take a day off during the week. You can even go on a weekend trip during the semester, so it's, I think, a much healthier environment for studying. However, I should say that this applies to the LLM program. I cannot speak for German law students who are doing the so-called Staatsexamen, so they are doing the regular German law degree with which you can become a lawyer or a judge, etc. I do not know how it is for them. I hear a lot of people saying that that is a very stressful degree, and I guess that stress might be similar to what I had in my undergrad degree, but I cannot compare because I do not have the same experience. But for the LLM program, I can say that it is a very good work-life balance in my opinion. What is kind of crazy to me is that I could get away this semester with only doing 2 classes, which is not that much if you think about it. I mean, this is what my transcripts look like at Regensburg, so you can see I did a lot of classes during my year abroad in Germany, but now during the master's program you actually don't need to do as many classes, and obviously that affects your work-life balance. But I am hoping to do some additional classes voluntarily next semester because I am interested in the different things that are offered. However, I had to drop the voluntary class I took this semester because I got so sick. And I am grateful for being able to just get away with doing these 2 classes, because it helped me so much for my health, because like I said, I wasn't doing well, and then also being stressed by having to do a lot of courses would not have been great. So it was perfect for the circumstances that I was in this semester. Now let's get into student accommodation and also the affordability of this program. Now, compared to the almost £10,000 in tuition fee that I paid per year at Cambridge, the now 150 euros roundabout that I pay per semester here are a pretty good deal in my head. However, student accommodation can become quite expensive in Tübingen because it's a relatively small city and there are a lot of students that want to find an apartment here. You can apply for the regular student housing, but obviously that is limited. So you might also have to look for an apartment, or maybe you also just want to live on your own, or maybe you want to share an apartment with your friends. But like I said, apartments can get quite expensive here. The housing market is difficult. So I would recommend, if you are looking to study here, look for an apartment as early as you can. It took me months to find this one. I got very lucky because it actually has a normal, or like at least decent price tag, at least for Tübingen. So I'm quite happy with this, but like I said, I got really lucky in finding this apartment, and I only found it after months of looking and not finding anything that was even like remotely suitable, especially for the prices that they were asking. Now let's get into university support. I'm going to focus on the administrative support because I did not ask for any health support this semester, which honestly was probably a mistake because I'm chronically ill, and that was the reason that I had these big health issues this semester. So I probably should have paid a visit to the Center for Disabled and Chronically Ill People, but I didn't. I just sat in my room and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna struggle through it on my own. Please do not do that, okay? Go and see what support options your university has, because you do not need to make life harder for yourself than it already is. So do not take me as an example when it comes to that, okay? But when it comes to the administrative support, I honestly have to give Tübingen maybe a 2 out of 10, because why are you not giving me a transcript? That is a big question that I have, because this is a really weird thing about the LLM program. They refuse to issue you a transcript until you have finished the entire program. So normally you get a transcript for the courses that you have done in that semester, so that you can also apply to jobs, you know, for students, or you can also already apply for positions after you graduate. They will not do that for you. You do not get a transcript here until you have finished. So you do know what grades you got during the semester because your professors tell you after your oral exam, but student services for the LLM students will simply refuse to give you a transcript with which you can apply for jobs, which I think is a really bad practice, because why are you making it so much harder for us? And I actually went and I called them and I wrote emails to them, but they were like, no, we can't do anything. We have this rule. We don't give you a transcript for the semester. We only give you a transcript once you've finished a degree, which I think is really weird, and you're just making it hard for people to get a job while they are in university, which isn't really a great thing to do. So that's why I can't rate you high on that. I'm sorry, but that is odd. It's really odd. But aside from that, I'm actually pretty happy with the program that I picked, and I think it's a good fit for me. So I'm looking forward to the next semester, but I'm also a bit stressed because I'm gonna have to write my master's thesis then. So that's kind of scary. But I am overall happy with the first semester, despite the health struggles, because like I said, thanks to the way that the program is structured, I was able to catch up and I wasn't too stressed out by academics while also being sick. So I'm really grateful for having had a program like that during such a difficult health time. So overall, happy that I picked the program I picked, and I'm looking forward to what's coming next. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you're having a nice day. Bye!